there are other individuals. I don't want to leave anybody out, and hopefully we could open up the lines, and some of the older citizens, some of our elders in this thing could give us some of the other names as well. But so many people who agitated after World War I and II for the right to determine, to select, to vote for our representatives. You know, we bought into a structure, or maybe it was kind of forced into it from the British, and we accepted that structure, but we wanted some things to change for sure. And one of the main ones was that we wanted to be able to choose our own representative. We didn't want the person chosen by the crown in Britain, who may have been miles away, who don't understand what we want within our context, etc., to just put somebody on top of us. We wanted to be able to choose that person. And very early on, Trinidad and Tobago, all people did not have the right to make that decision, right? The decision was left to men over an age of 21 and who had a certain standing in the society, owned a certain amount of property, etc. And also, at a point, women, but just a small section of women over 30 who as well owned, you had to own certain property. And I think we would appreciate that in those times, very few women actually owned property themselves in their names. So it was a very small group of women who were afforded that opportunity. In general, among the population of Trinidad and Tobago, it was just 6% of the population who actually could have voted or decided who those representatives were and also who could be representatives. Right? Representation was not for average people. And unfortunately, in the society today and the structure that we still have, I see a reoccurrence of that. So our pioneers would have wanted to move away from that position where only the rich, only those who have money, controlled power. You know, there are many recordings of the agitations by Mr. Butler, by Mr. Gomes, and others, you know, in their statements that, listen, the poorer people within our society are those who definitely need to be able to choose their representation. The rich could already take care of themselves, you know, with their resources. They already have a say economically, and they can translate that economic power into influence. But the poor among us, those who, you know, just in terms of financial ability, coming out of slavery, coming out of indentureship, working at that point in time for low wages, the colonial system that was really extracting so much out of Trinidad, those people needed to have a voice. Understand what I'm saying now? Given the historical context, because we should be able to compare 70 years ago our position as a people to our position now in 2024, and there should be a clear distinction and clear progress from where we were then to where we are now. And if there is no real, I'm not talking about the superficial on the face of it, progress. I'm talking about if there is no real progress when you dig down to it, then something is truly wrong. We've been played for fools. We get a 6 for 9, as we say. We buy cat and bag, you know? And I want to draw these parallels. We have a history, a great history of people advocating, agitating, fighting for the rights of the people of Trinidad and Tobago. I pay respect to those individuals. We need to pay respect to them by upholding what they fought for. Whatever we fight for as a people and we gain, we must then retain, we must then keep. Because if we don't do that, we win a battle, but we lose the whole war. Right? I'm always taught about the frog that is boiled in the water. It boils real slow. You know, so initially it's a little hot, but you get accustomed. And then it get hotter, but you get accustomed, and before you know it, you're cooked and you're dead. So we had a position where only a certain group of people, based on their economic standing, could have been involved in the political process, could have represented, and also could have voted. We fought for that suffrage. I think 1945 is when we got universal suffrage, where everyone was able to vote. But if we have the position where we are able to vote, then we must have our own right mind to vote. So this is where they give us, but then they take away from us. They allow you to vote, but then they put a position in your mind where you are stuck in a position where you vote the way they want you to vote. Follow me? Further than that, they give you the right to choose, but they choose who you can choose from. Much in the same way that only the rich who have certain property, who whatever, could have even stepped forward to be elected. How did we arrive at a position where two entities, political entities, dominate our political scene, dominate the political financial scene? As the caller asked about the United States of America. Wow, yes, election, yeah, hype, whatever, billions of dollars spent, all kind of 45 million Mr. Musk put behind Donald Trump, millions of dollars, billions of dollars spent lobbies from Israel, AIPAC, spending money to campaign, influence others, give this, buy radio stations, buy the voices of people, buy TV, buy ads, buy congressmen, buy individuals who lead their communities, buy, bought and sold. Sounds like back in the day. Sounds like even pre-colonial period. Sounds like pre-independence. Sounds like slavery. Sounds worse than indentureship. Bought and sold. Men and women, their voices, their opinions, their influence. Bought and sold. Our minds, the way we think. Bought and sold. We have a position in Trinidad and Tobago where a poor person, an average person in terms of wealth, income, cannot contest the election. You have to put up that deposit. If you don't have that money, then you can't even offer yourself. Why? We're trying to stop people getting involved in the process. If you can't campaign and put yourself forward in the minds of people is thinking, this don't look like what I supposed to vote for. In a population of 1.3 million people, where it might be difficult to reach all of the people with what you want to say and what you want to explain in terms of your policies, etc., where the people are trained to want to hear things in a certain way from certain avenues, or else it ain't looking right. If you don't have the money, then you don't have a chance. Mr. Elon Musk offering, and I'm just using him as an example because it have many others who are doing this within the political sphere, right? Even right here. He offered $1 million every day to a person who signed up a petition supporting Trump, so to speak. I mean, politics bought and sold. So we come from a colonial period where the rich and the elite had all of the power in the society. And those who are the majority and the masses are considered as less than a lower class. Yes, the majority in numbers, but a lower class. They're not as important. That is the thinking that existed. And people fought. People struggled. All the butler get jail. For us to be able to reach a position where we can choose. But then we go back into a mentality and they put other barriers so that we don't have a choice. And one of the biggest barriers that they put is that mental barrier that we don't believe that we could choose anything else. We accept in our own minds that biggest barrier. We don't see that, wait now, within these systems of this entity, this PNM, this UNC, this whatever else, I don't actually have a say. And by the time it reached to me, all I could really do is just rubber stamp this. You know what a rubber stamp is? A rubber stamp is when you ain't really making a decision, you just reach to you to say okay. Where, for example, in the American system, people we had to choose between Biden and Trump. Where you had to choose between Democrat and Republican, but it both terrible. We suffering with both. Why do we only have those choices? Who want them? Why the system keeps bringing forward to us people who don't really represent us, who don't feel for us, who don't care about us, who belong to a small status quo, a ruling elite. No, the better we just bring back a crown and put it in Parliament, and we bring back robes and wait now, it's still our robes in Parliament. Still have they take the wigs away. I think they take the wigs away a little while ago. So that even though an individual goes into that position, he then behaves in a manner akin, the same manner as a person who is just a monarch, who is an elite, who looks down, who put your chest up in the sky, and you no longer remember that it is the people that you are supposed to represent. It is a dread system. It is a extremely dreaded system that we subscribe to. Just I'll try to sort out the kinks. I see some little calls coming in. I'll try to sort out the kinks so that we could interact after the break, because we just have about 45 seconds before the ads come on. You know, the bills have to pay. But we have found ourselves in a position globally and even in our local context, and we must now think it over, Trinidad and Tobago. We need to think it over. We need to ensure that our sacrifices that we have made and our suffrage that we have is not lost. All right, so blessings to everybody. We pause to the break.
Station that defends the nation. Station that defends the nation.
Black Friday starts now at Quartz. Get new and amazing deals every week with the lowest prices on the hottest electronics, top-of-the-line appliances, and stylish furniture. No need to waste your time shopping around. Plus, you can shop now and pay us in February 2025. For unbeatable value, the best deals are only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Love watching English Premier League football? Well, you can win big in the Guinness Predict the Score promotion. Just visit select bars on match day and purchase a Guinness to receive a game prediction scorecard. Then it's game time. Guinness time. Predict the first player to score or the full-time result for 3 rounds of Guinness, club merch, and more. Now, that's a lovely game over a Guinness. See Guinness Caribbean social media pages for signature locations. Guinness, official sponsor of the English Premier League. Must be 18 years and older to enjoy. Please drink responsibly.
I sure have Magnum on my agenda. You don't have a ring, then you don't have a mister. Take charge, let me see your finger. Up, let me see your finger. You don't have a ring, girl, bend for the camera. You to bend. Show them your Magnum, bend for the camera. But my man is a Magnum drinker. Magnum tonic wine. Must be 18 years and over to consume. Drink responsibly and take charge.
It's Nyla. There's no Christmas like my Christmas. I'll be mobile Christmas. That's my Christmas. There's nothing like the first days of fashion. Juicy ham, homemade bread and restaurant. Changing all the curtains from room to room. Wrapping gifts while we singing taram tunes. Nothing like winning big with Be Mobile. 1 million in prices that will make you smile. There's no Christmas like my Christmas. I'll be mobile Christmas. That's my Christmas.
Win over 1 million in prizes this season with Be Mobile.
Be mobile.
Life is on.
Okay, Rudolph, make her right. Then, oh, hold on. Mrs. Claus sent a WhatsApp. The elves are hungry. Pick up a Royal Castle Queen bucket, a King bucket, some royal wings, a family meal, a few combos, some extra delicious coleslaw, crinkle-cut fries, potato salad, and a snack box for yourself. Oh, and don't forget that delicious honey mustard sauce. It's really lashing. Okay, Rudolph, let's get that delicious local Trini flavor. Royal Castle, here we come. Royal Castle is the local something that makes it all taste better. Oh, Happy holidays from Royal Castle.
Looking for a safe and relaxed professional massage therapist and nutritionist? Look no further. Nature's Touch with Empress Judy and Associates offers a natural approach to better health. Treat yourself to a professional massage therapy and nutrition advice in a safe and relaxed atmosphere. Rejuvenate your body, mind, and soul at Nature's Touch Therapy. For an appointment, please call or WhatsApp 1-868-398-8282 or visit our Facebook page. Remember, your health is our responsibility at Nature's Touch.
Renting a car in Tobago should be quick, affordable, and easy.
Wow.
Here at Onia Rentals, we make the process as simple as possible by using our easy e-sign-up. Yep, we can sign you up from just about anywhere using our tablets. See? All done. And everything goes straight into the cloud. Wow. Yeah, you're on your way. Are you coming to Tobago? Book your car rental with us and enjoy the most affordable rates in Tobago. But hurry, because cars go pretty fast. Call 361-1042. That's 361-1042. One more time, 361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals, Tobago, taking you further.
Two leaders have become one, we're doing it all for you. We're here to build a nation, that's what we're made to do. For mortgages, investments, and financing too. Welcome the new, brand new TTMB. Yes, we'll see you through. We're here to make you reach higher. We're here to be your new leader. Two giants have come together to work for you under one roof.
The Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Finance Company and Home Mortgage Bank have joined forces. Introducing TTMB, the Trinidad and Tobago Mortgage Bank. Own your future.
Oh gosh, I could lie. Oh gosh, I could lie. Lie. Who does lie more? Man or woman? Hey, woman! Hey, girl! You promised the jam this time. You promised the wine this time. You promised the thing, you promised the fling. But you know how to lie. You don't care how much man you using. You don't care how you use it. You don't care how much man you using. You don't care. Them woman just lie. I go in and call them out. Woman with it, it's facing in them out. They just lie. They running all about them like last go fund them in every man house. They just lie. When she run, she out. As she rich, she cleaning your house. She want it west, north and south. Now she want food for my mouth. Now she tell me. She tell me that not she man, that is she roommates. Lie. I know we homeless and have nowhere to live. Talking about him now help she. Lie. The house empty. Lie. She been spending. Lie. Well put him out then. You promised the jam this time. You promised the wine this time. You promised the thing. You promised the thing. But you know how to lie. You don't care how much man you use it. You don't care how you use it. You don't care how much man you use it. That's why I strongly convinced all woman is lie. All woman is lie. Oh gosh, they can lie. They could lie. Lie. Well lie. Who does lie more? Woman. Yo, she tell me. She say that she live Valencia. Them say how she living in Cora. She say that she is back manager. I get she behind cafe just she post them on IG. Lie. But she single lot just sweet. Filter pictures and bling bling. Lie. We not promote it. Hey yeah. You promised the jam this time. You promised the wine this time. You promised the thing. You promised the fling. But you know how to lie. You don't care how much man you use it. You don't care how you use it. You don't care how much man you use it. That's why I strongly convince all woman this lie. I go in and call them out. Woman with it, it's facing in them out. They just lie. They running all about like last go fund them in every man house. They just lie. When she run, she out. As she rich, she cleaning your house. She want it west, north and south. Now she want food for my mouth. Lie. All woman is lie. Oh gosh, they can lie. They can lie. Lie. Well lie. Who does lie more? Woman. Hey, yeah.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
So we are back. I like that one by Mr. George. They does lie. I want to say who does lie, but you know, too much of us does lie, and we need to definitely not lie to ourselves. And part of being honest to ourselves is understanding where we are, so that we can understand where we need to go. And I humbly apologize that sometimes I have to shatter what exists in our mind. And some of what exists in our mind is there for a long period of time, you know. It's there for a while. But it's there and it's not true. It's there for a long while, but it's not true. So we have to think about it again. I just want to start back. We always do a little quote, and I'm hoping I could take some calls. I'm hoping I could maneuver to take some calls. This quote is from Elizabeth Bishop. I ain't even sure who that is, so you could check the veracity of the quote afterwards. You could contemplate if it makes sense or it doesn't make sense, right? I just pulled up again. There's a quote on voting and being informed, and it says that democracy in the contemporary world demands, among other things, an educated and informed people. If we are not informed, if we are not educated, then people could take advantage of us. Those who have knowledge but have no morals and no spiritual grounding will take advantage of those who do not have knowledge. Those who have economic strength but don't have any morals or spiritual grounding will take advantage of those who are not economically strong. And the list goes on. And if we do not educate ourselves, we are then susceptible to the influence and the advantage that people want to take over us. Knowledge, you know, back in the day, our great leaders in this diaspora, Afro-American, Afro-West Indian, Caribbean leaders, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture, I give him his right name, right? Rosa Parks, Afeni Shakur, anybody you could think of, the foundation for them was knowledge. The foundation for them was educating themselves beyond what the system educates you to be a slave. Even in slavery, you had education, you know. You had to be educated enough to know how to pick the cotton, when to pick the cotton, how to pick the cane, when to pick the cane, when to burn it, what to do with it, how to squeeze it, how to this, how to that. All of that is absolutely important education. We lose some of that education. Plenty of us nowadays, we don't know how to farm. We don't know how to bring tremendous crops. Right? But that is all that they would have taught us. They wouldn't teach you that you come from a place where there is civilization, where there is organized people, where they are great, where you invented things, where you had universities and education processes, where you had a proper structure of family where you have resources abundant. They won't teach you that you are immensely powerful and strong, physically and mentally, that you have the capacity to learn what they think they know. They won't teach you that. And they did not teach us that then, because they limit our knowledge, because knowledge would enable us to have power. I remember in a quote, I don't know if I shared it with you all on the program, but education makes a man unfit to be a slave. So how is that we are educated in this time? Supposedly, we are all going through an education process, but we still end up as close to slaves. Impoverished, dependent, controlled, mentally controlled. My mothers and my fathers, my brothers and my sisters of Trinidad and Tobago, mentally stuck. That we could only go down a road. It is already determined. We are inflexible, unchangeable, and it is not working for us. Man, that is a dread slavery. That is a dread. For those who have woken up, good morning to those who are awake, who logged in live. Good morning to those who are awake spiritually and mentally. We already realize a rock and a hard place. Some of us realize and we want freedom and we chiseling in between. We chiseling our way out. We must educate ourselves. Those who are in control of us will not educate us. Those who want to dominate us. I believe that for those who were morally and spiritually strong and grounded, who wanted to design a fair system, did not envision a Trinidad and Tobago where it is dominated by a 1%. And I want to believe that now, in 2024, that the people of Trinidad and Tobago, we don't really want a society dominated by a few. We want a society that is fair. We want a society where we have a share. We want a society where we're working together. We're not working for. We want to work together. Like we work together towards something now. I mean, I saying this, but maybe the views of the people of Trinidad and Tobago is different. Maybe we don't want to share. Maybe we don't want to level up. Maybe we enjoy being subservient. Maybe we enjoy rubber stamping after they choose. Maybe we don't want to be men and women. Maybe we like advantage. You know, it have different syndromes where you start to enjoy being oppressed. You start to love the person who abusing you. I think we have a dread case of that in Trinidad and Tobago. Maybe we don't want to be able to speak to each other as equals. Mr. This and Mr. That. We must talk up because we are afraid and because we're dependent, and if we say this or we share our mind or we share our view, licks. We want to continue to live in fear of other men, afraid, advantage. You have to take this abuse in work. You have to take this abuse here. You have to take this abuse there. Because you know what the thing is. I don't want to lose my job. I know it's the wrong thing I'm doing. They're sending me to advantage somebody else. They're sending me to do something wrong. But the boss tell me to do that. I don't believe that is what our forefathers envisioned as we fought our way forward. And I don't subscribe to a system that is the control and the level of abuse and the level of non-participation that I am afforded. Better we had all they bring out the crowns now. They bring it in and bring out the crowns from the museum and crown these fellas and them. Not the puppets in the parliament, you know. Crown the people who funding the thing. Like in America, because we're using that as an example. Apply as you wish the comparison. In America, APAC, right? American Israeli political action, whatever, group of caucus, whatever. That's how they just organize putting money into politics. They fund you, they control the news networks, the radio, whatever. And they let you know, okay, we're giving you this amount of money, but you have to do this when you go there. Here the investment now. The investment is they give you this money and they put you in place and then you have to do what they tell you to do. And what they want billions in aid. In aid. Right, so this goes into the political situation in Palestine and the genocide that is taking place there, etc. We put money, we choose the politicians in America, and then they work for us. I repeat to you all what local politicians have said. Who pay the piper, play the tune. Now that is not ours. That cab that's not representative of the poor. That is not representative of the middle class. That is not going to work for and advocate for and put systems in place for a living wage for the poor. That is not going to increase minimum wage and tell employers, listen, hold up on the cost of your goods and services. Because the people who selling the goods and services are owned. Oh, sorry, the people who selling the goods and services own the government. It's not working. It doesn't work for us. So we must think it over. We must think it over. We must understand what existed and then think about what we want. And then look at what we have. We have to look carefully at what we have. We have to put systems in place and we have to advocate strongly. One of the strongest things that we're supposed to be advocating for as a people is transparency in our political financing. One of the strongest things that we're supposed to be advocating for as a people is the education of ourselves and our people. Political education. Economic education. The lack of knowledge will cause us to perish. Right now I could give you circumstances where economically I didn't understand certain things banking wise. And because of that lack of knowledge in that sector, I pay a price with little things. And then I had to sit down with my banker or somebody who knows better, and for my own good, say, explain this to me now. How I really supposed to do this? And then they explain it to you, and now I understand, and now I could change and adapt. But when I didn't know, I was losing. And the person or the entity that taking advantage of me, glad I don't know. Glad that I do not know. I'm going to attempt to take a call. Alright? Bear with me, yeah? I'm trying. Okay. Go ahead, you're live.
Yeah, Fuad, good morning, brother. And good morning to your listeners.
Good morning, good morning. I
I
hope everybody hearing us clearly.
Yeah, I hope so too. But a lot of what you're saying there, Fuad, many of us in this country don't think so far ahead. Right? I mean, I've been trying to take the task and have an issue with what the Salary Reviews Commission is now offering to these already highly paid workers at a time like this, when the same highly paid workers have been pushing a narrative that people have to hold some strain in this country because of what they inherited from their predecessors, who will also benefit from the proposed hike in salaries and whatnot, right? And we are trying to take to task the Salary Reviews Commission. But before the government could accept or reject and say what is their position on that matter, you're done finding persons from all over the country coming out and giving reasons why that is acceptable, why that is justified. I mean, I don't know what again we need to see in this country for to understand exactly what is going on. And when I tell people the only people that benefit is these 41 members of parliament, when we continue to operate the way we are, people don't like to hear that. When you're calling out the UNC, all of a sudden you become a PNM. When you're calling out the PNM, all of a sudden you become a UNC. I mean, I don't know, but Trinidad, when I really listened to some of the callers yesterday, throughout the entire day, I realized that Trinidad is getting just what they deserve, either the UNC or the PNM, because we as adults refuse time and time again to call a spade, right? To just to say things. And I mean, because the people who are running out to give defense of this, they cannot tell you how much is too much to offer these people, and they cannot tell you, right, what they're hoping for, if they're hoping for the government to accept it or deny it, right? But every day, we will come out here to attack each other, not sit down around a table and have a discussion, a healthy debate, where if your point is not so strong and has weight and substance, then you accept second place. We are unwilling to do that. So some of us just going right down the road, wherever the destination leads. And boy, I'm totally sorry for Trinidad in that matter, because we wouldn't get anywhere forward. We really wouldn't be going anywhere. But thank you for allowing me, brother. Wonderful program as usual.
Yeah, thank you very much, brother. So I just still working out the glitches. I hope that we could hear the callers properly as well. And I apologize if you're not going to get the direct interaction from me, because I'm listening a little way off. Ify, I saw you calling. My apologies that I didn't take your call earlier. I'll try to take it if you call again. All right? Work in progress. Knowledge is power, right? I'm trying to be able to operate it. All right, we have another call. Go ahead, caller.
Mr. Barker.
Yes. Morning.
Good morning to you. Let me say good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. Mr. Leave It Right there. Everybody loving you. Mr. Barker, I want to ask a question here this morning, right? When you come on this 91.9 radio station, when you leave, do you check back and listen to the program at all? Mr. Barker? Hello?
Yes, I do. You go ahead and make your point.
Okay, right.
It's a little difficult for me to interact with you, so you just go ahead and make your point.
Okay, I heard you say something this morning, the puppets. Who you calling puppets? Well, if you had gone into Parliament, you would have been a puppet also, because you remember the last time you came down to the Gumatin West on a truck because you was contesting election, right? It was not successful. Right, so then you're calling yourself a puppet also, because I don't know what you mean, the puppets in Parliament, to be honest with you. Yeah, you know why this country so? Because yes, I appreciate your young man come to the radio station, right, fine. But what you bring to the table? To me, all what it does when it comes to the radio station, it continue to drag down, the country drag down, and this is not good for the nation. And before I come off, port workers, I want all to be fired and bring in new workers, because all playing the fool and have Michael and he said, Papi is showing all like a clown. You have a good one.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mom. No problem. You know, everybody entitled to their opinion. Some people believe that the liberator is the oppressor and the oppressor is the liberator, unfortunately. And our people will perish for the lack of knowledge. I have to take this call. She's been calling whole morning. I don't know who it is, but you know, just trying to be fair as well. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
I'm gonna make, yeah, man. Yeah, bless them all forward.
Yeah, man. Oh, all right. Blessings, man. Is you?
Yeah, that my little daughter named me now, man.
All right.
Well, I see like you're flying so like you're all learning the board there, man.
Yeah. Not, you have to learn. It's a learning process.
Well, if you control it by yourself, you're going to be better, man. So you're going to really call us, calling you, supporting you too.
All right. Blessings, my brother.
Forward, one more thing, boy. I see the Prime Minister here, man, to do. I see you for what Saturday. I felt like I just could get the work, you know what water, you in water about 40-something years. You have it for less. I love to understand, yeah, I love.
All right. I'm having a little problem with my speaker, so sometimes I'm not hearing exactly what the caller is saying, but everybody hearing you all. So just make the points, and I'll interact after you all speak. All right, let me take another one. Go ahead, caller.
Morning to you, Ford. Morning to all our listeners.
Morning. Just I could ask you to make your point. It's difficult for me to interact because I don't have my headphones, right? So hearing you, but you go ahead, and then afterwards I will respond.
Right. Now, I have a problem, and KFC, you have to mind your business with respect to the CEO of Overwassa. And probably you could emulate people and try to aspire to reach that point in your life instead of being critical, not knowing the facts as why they're appointing somebody. And that is where mental slavery, when you don't know things, sit down and listen and learn. That's the problem that we have in this country, because you raise about slavery. There were good people that were enslaved because of violence, but they were bright. In Trinidad, if you're paralleling the whole discussion in relation to slavery, then it's unfortunate, because to me, the exposure and guidance people need in the whole scope of all right, if you say not being a slave, is that people handicap themselves. Education out there, business out there, all the things that could shape your acumen, they are out there. If who lead you, it starts with your parents. Then it starts with, people like you. If you think that you're an orator, then talk the things that could emulate people. I am not one to be critical of the 1%, because in my days, when I was a little child, my mother bought from the 1% walking through the street. They bought, and then they became big people. That's why I have a respect for them. We have to learn to emulate, look at things through even religion, and deal with it from the point of being, marketable. We don't do that. We just complain. We complain about the little bit of people ruling us. It's so. I see Donald Trump being sworn in, and he's trying to form a cabinet with hundreds of people. That's a few people, yes. But you know what? What they give out to you, and you choose to take to build your whatever developmental aspect, then it's up to you.
Right. Just try to close off, because the ad is with us. Sorry, I mean.
Yeah, I know forward. My thing, yeah. I just only take a little time. But I want to end with this. And I have to almost repeat myself. There's a reason why I love the PNM. You know why? The PNM have been accused of corruption for years. No problem. People came in with majority and they changed the law. Dr. Rowley chose to do that. And I want you to...
Carol singers everywhere. But for the Christmas morning, man, you always disappear. And the days are getting shorter. But at nights are feeling colder. All the gifts, the drinks, the trees, they can't do a thing for me. Give me love, give me love, give me love. La 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 yo 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 la 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 yo 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 la 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 yo 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 yo. Give me love, give me love, give me love. Yes, the days are getting shorter, but at night are feeling colder. All the gifts, the drinks, the trees, they can't do a thing for me. Give me love, give me love, give me love. You see this little señorita, she would like to be much sweeter, so you'll have to work much harder than you are. Your Christmas gift is not enough. Buy what could you be thinking of? Give me love, give me love, give me love. La 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 yo 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 la 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 yo 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 la 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 yo 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 yo. Give me love, give me love, give me love.
Look, Christmas is coming, and we're heading back to T&T for that famous Royal Castle chicken. We just love the Royal Castle family meal with those 12 pieces of tasty chicken, the 6 yummy sides, and that refreshing 2-liter soft drink. It's just perfect for a nice Christmas lime. So if you're hustling and bustling like me, or if you just want some great tasting food, pick up the Royal Castle family meal. Happy holidays from Royal Castle. Ho, 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 ho.
Yeah, my apologies for that. It have one knob that we're not supposed to move here, and that is ads, right? Because the the power of money, you know, and for things to happen, you need resources in this world. So they have created this thing called money that is supposed to be a medium for us to exchange, and instead of it being used as a medium for us to exchange items and production, they have used it as a tool of power to take advantage of others. And you know, as a man, as a woman, independent, if you are stripped of that financial ability, even in that in itself, if you are kept with low wages, I hear mom talking about the port workers. Respect workers, man. Like, we respect workers. We have to have utmost respect for workers. Because if we are stripped of that independence economically, then we really go back into a position of slavery. Sorry, caller, I am here to educate what I have been able to learn. And no, not people have to educate themselves and people have to educate yourself. Someone educated me. And it is a responsibility of a moral, just society to educate its people. But in a society that is unjust, immoral, ungodly, they on purpose do not educate. They go even further. They miseducate the people. They disseminate misinformation. That's the new talk. The amount of misinformation Mr. Musk put out to support Mr. Trump. Like, literally, they went through on his platforms of media. It have a reason he bought Twitter for, not Twitter X, no, Twitter turned to X, for billions of dollars. It have reasons why Media Corp and these companies are millionaire, billionaire companies. Because of the importance and the power of taking the people's minds. So let's be real, eh? Let's be real. Let's be real. And there are some free people in the world who still afford the opportunity for us to educate each other on platforms like this. Enough respect to Mr. George. Enough respect to Mr. George, man. So let us, I know it's a little tough for us because we are accustomed to certain ideas, but let us work through it now. I know we are accustomed to something for years upon years. We slow cooked. Every process that I take part in is to try to educate, right? So respect to everybody. I know the line's blowing up. Go ahead, or they call, I will take the calls. All right?
Good morning.
Go ahead, caller, you're live.
I second mommy, what mommy said, and KFC, you need to educate KFC. They just talking to never mouth. You don't know what he's saying. They must educate KFC, right? That's what I have to say.
All right, come again, next call in. Go ahead, caller.
Pleasant good morning to you, Young Barker. Good morning to Trinidad and Tobago. As I mentioned previously, Young Barker, that I've been listening to you and your program and other talk show hosts as well, because I like the information, because not everybody who stands to support a political party or religious organization it's the accurate thing they're saying. We're all here to learn and grow and execute accordingly, right? And I'm saying some of the sentiments that you share, young Barker, I could attest that it is going into the right direction, not only your educated individual. And I would like to say one thing though, not because we support a party, that means we have to say that the party is doing correct, whether it be UNC, PNM, NAR, COP, whatever the party is. But let me just don't be sidetracked, right? I want to tell the population and callers that young Barker isn't his father. Young Barker is a different era. He sees things differently the way his father saw things years ago. So, I mean, try to let try to have your constructive criticism in a proper form and direction, because as I mentioned earlier, we are all here to learn and grow. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, caller. No, some people not apparently not here to learn. Some people maybe know it all, and I don't know it all. But if I offer some history and I offer a parallel to what is taking place in our society now, let me think about it now. I know the truth may offend, but it's not a sin, you know. It may offend, but is not a sin. So let we show that maturity, even though it might knock what we think we want to hear and what we are accustomed to. Maybe what we are accustomed to is not the truth. Yeah, maybe it's not the truth. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, good day. I'm morning for again. Well, I'm trying to get on to about 3 weeks now on this program. I just want to say something, right? The thing is that people here to talk about 1990 and all kind of thing, right? With the core thing, right? To me, you see the amount of money and oil money passed through this country from all the years, Trinidad do not supposed to be in the position it is today right now. We're supposed to be in a better position. 1990 started with the core thing with when Robinson came in, right? He met a dead economy, you know, and that's how we ended up in the hands of the IMF. Robinson got blamed for all the mismanagement of funds that went through with the oil with the government, you know. And people like they don't seem to understand that Trinidad cannot move forward right now unless people start vote on issues and betterment of the country. Only time the country will move forward is when people start to vote on them issues and betterment. Otherwise, Trinidad ain't going nowhere. People only voting party and race right now, and that's the problem we have in Trinidad right now. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate your contribution. We have to be wiser. We have to be more intelligent, and we have to think about it. Think and think again. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah. Morning, Mr. Walker. Morning, sir.
Good morning, blessings. I'm struggling. I'm learning right now.
That's all right. Well, life is about learning. You know, I said I wouldn't call again, but you know something? I turned on the radio this morning and I heard you saying, talking about Elon Musk and X and how a great effect it had on the election. You know, I'm having the same thing coming from you and a lot of, even the last caller who just called to tell you that Trinidadians vote on race. When we voted in 2010, I don't think that was on race. And I don't think when we voted in 2015, it was on race, based on good governance. I have a group of people who thief my money and run away. So I'm trying to understand this logic. So the Elon Musk idea that you threw out, you encourage that, you know. From listening to your program, they could only call you and talk that rubbish and that racist talk. I didn't vote on race. I vote on a lady tell me she would have done better at Mr. Manning spending $43 billion and left me with a budget in 5 years and 3 months and 14 days, $20 billion more. And I have nothing to show for it. Because the children hospital all they boast about is alone are still paying up to now. What else? What else they give me? The highway down to San Fernando, a man run away, take a section of the clothes, and a man leave with $1 billion that are running down still. So what race I vote on? I vote on good.
He's speaking about you in particular, caller, right? He's speaking about other people, and you don't speak for everybody in Trinidad and Tobago. And I do know people who unequivocally and say to you, "Hey, this is why I vote this way." All right. So respectfully, thank you very much. We'll take another call. Right. We are trying to move in a direction where I don't want to be no Elon Musk. I don't own 91.9. I don't own Guardian Media. I don't own Newsday. I don't own the many other institutions that exist. However, if I am given the opportunity to speak, I would speak, and I just facts about our history, and then we could determine based on those facts if what is transpiring is going forward and better for us as a people. Let us be real, Trinidad and Tobago. The connection between money and politics cannot be denied. And if people are buying our politicians and buying our minds through media and through all these advertising and through when they in government, they hand out things like if it's theirs to hand out, and they tell you whatever, this is based on your support for us. This is not because he's a citizen of Trinidad and Tobago, you know. If that is what is being done, then that is not right. That's what we're saying. If they're keeping us impoverished, so we always need to grab to them for a little pittance, then that is like slavery. That is what we're saying. We want a position where we are all educated in school about our true history. Pausing to give this caller, because he's been calling for a while, a chance.
Hello? Oh, yeah. Good morning, Stuart Abubakar. Morning. What?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear. Go ahead.
All right, okay. President Villager here. Good morning, Trinidad.
Go ahead.
Listening to your program this morning, you're on the ball. Especially, I want to go straight back into the position you put that we still under colonialism in the mind, even physically, but we still in colonialism in the mind. In regard recognizing that the governments that we have, basically, as you said earlier on, they may be voted from our constituencies, but we don't really benefit from them in the sense of equality and so forth, because the people who put them there is the conglomerate, is the elite, is the 1%. And as we all know rightfully, when the 1% pay for you to be elected, they were back a piece of the pound of flesh. That whole process you're talking about there is the reason why I keep on in this time calling for the electorate. The same people who is the electorate, the villagers. The same people who is the electorate and the villagers, the slaves, to come out from where we are and form an organization of us as a people. So when we're voting out of the organization into the parliamentary proceedings, that we will have people lobbying for us rather than taking the opportunity that they have given through the colonial times for we to vote people, and when we done vote, we damn take them over. When those organizations that as the elite take them over, then we eventually have no place in the system because we end up right back below, not being observed and as a slave. So your topic this morning was so best that I want you to keep on that vein to always be continually making sure that the people understand that process so that we could move out according to the same we got republic, and yet now plenty of us do not understand that word as a republic. Well, republic, to republicate yourself because that RE in front. But we do not understand these things, and we must put it to our society and for the generation tomorrow to know this. And if we don't know that, then we're going to continually be enslaved. So forming an organization as a people to hold our dignity and our destiny for ourselves is totally important. Thank you, because you made a point this morning, you had the phone for yourself, and you made a point that Trinidad and Tobago, especially I am and you are in Trinidad and Tobago, in our politics, we must know that and change. We must know that and change. Thank you, Fuad Abubakar. Thank you, Trinidad and Tobago, for hearing me and listening me. Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you very much for your opinion as well. Come on. The truth is, we want to work together as a society. We love each other. Let we work with each other. We don't have to work for everybody. Let we work with each other. We don't have to feel beaten and battered and demoralized to go out to work every day. Let we work for each other. Let we work with each other. Let we respect each other. No, every man is a boss. Every man is a man. Every woman is a woman. A woman don't have to bend and break and this for work because she need that money to take care of them children and she in a position and it's only propositions. No. Let we respect each other. It's not subservience. Let we reason with each other. Let we reason with port workers. Hey, okay, there's the efficiency, there's the this, there's the that, there's what we have, there's what we don't have, how we could balance it up. Let we see how this could work. This is what we could do, this is what we can't do. Listen, look, it's pressure right now in Trinidad and Tobago. That is what they're saying, right? Look, we going and take a cut too. Look, we going and cut back on the money that we gain also. Because we know it's tough for everybody, and this is what we telling all you why we can't raise all your pay. Now, if we are equals as human beings, as citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, and you serving me, now that ain't gonna be hard for you to understand. Your attitude will not be, yeah, all you will get raise a pay, and some all you will have to go home without work. That will not be an attitude if you understand this concept. If it's not a monarchy, if it's not a crown on your head, and I am working in the fields, this thing not serving us. When did men stop having respect for men and women? Why we can't translate that respect and that love in the way that we deal with each other? Because there is no respect and no love. There's servant and master. And I'm saying that we, Trinbagonians past, Butler, Gomes, Cipriani, and even before that, and even after that, Stokely, whoever, Martin, Malcolm, or people fight against this. People fight against this neo-colonialism. We fight against this. Who they representing? If next election, $400 million had to go to the PNM, and well, the next side UNC need about 500 million because them coming from opposition. If all that money is necessary and all that money going to be put in by private interests, who they going to serve? How they going to really work for me and you and the average person? How they going to raise we salaries if it's the people who running the country economically who don't want to raise salaries? Who paying them? Who putting them there? Come on, Trinidad and Tobago. Come on, we want to work with the business class. We want to work with each other. We don't want to work for and there are good people in the work in the business class as well who have love and respect. I ain't saying that all of them share that mentality of them is the new massa. And if those attitudes exist, let us push back against those attitudes. Let us free our organizations of the control of money. Who Trump going and answer to? He done give Elon Musk a big position right now where he going to have access to endless information, government information, technology, this, that. He done going and get access because he put money. He used his power to influence the people. Plenty of what he did was lies. I have a whole short documentary. I screen recorded it and I kept it. I'll try. I don't know if I put it up on my social media. I can't put it up on X because he go pull it down. But it shows the lies that he put out. It shows the lies that even Trump would have said certain lies, and they amplify the lies. Now, that ain't right. That can't be right. And for the free people in Trinidad and Tobago who mind's still somewhat free, we need to work to free our brothers and sisters. We want to build a strong Trinidad and Tobago. But we want in a climate of respect. We want dignity. That is too much to ask. For you to treat me as you want to be treated as a human being as well with respect, that's too much to ask. My adults and my elders telling me I must bow and bend? Nah, man. So, unfortunately, we coming to end. So, blessings and love. See you all Thursday.
919fm.com, the official station that defends the nation. The views expressed are not necessarily the views of the management of The Street 919 FM.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on The Street 919 FM.
Black Friday starts now at Quartz. Get new and amazing deals every week with the lowest prices on the hottest electronics, top-of-the-line appliances.